Paul, what are you doing? You're all over the place. Oh, gosh. Right, yeah. Right. No. No, let's try that. Oh, well, that's better. You're on a horizontal wonk. Hang on, I can't cope with that. You're okay vertically. Oh, you're on a massive wonk. You're well on the wonk. There you go. Try that. Hang on. No, you're still wonky. Let's give that a go. Right, I can cope with that. I need a drink after that level of wonkiness. Oh, very nice. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome to... Oh, it's Wednesday. A very warm welcome to Wednesday Night Live here on Boaty's World with me, Boaty, who will be coming in your eyes and your ears over the next 59 minutes with a non-stop ferocity reminiscent of a vengeful god chasing down a stolen bicycle. How are you, darlings? I hope that you're tremendously well. It's lovely to see you there. Been looking forward to this. Sorry, I'm just reading ahead on the comments. Oh, let's have a bit of fun tonight, shall we? I'm just going to go. Well, I've said good evening to you, haven't I? I've done that bit. Lovely to have you here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sorry about the flowers. They're really dead. Sorry I haven't had a haircut yet. Sorry that the candles look as if they're on the wonk, but they're not. You are. It's totally 100% your fault. And I hope you've had a wonderful day. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to know what you've been eating. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. We can talk about anything you like. But carrying on from last night's question of which is better, McDonald's or the other one, Burger King, I'm going to widen that up a bit. What is the best takeaway you can get for a £5 note? That's all you've got to spend. You've got a £5 note. What do you reckon is the best takeaway that you can get for that £5 note? So that's in terms of niceness, taste, value for money, fill you uppery, although that's not a real word or phrase, anything of that nature. But anything else you want to talk about, including this one that I'll be reading out in a moment, do please throw it at me. Cheers, darlings. Your very good health. If you've got a little glass or something. Oh, and a little Joe update as we're, as I did last night and probably keep doing. Just a very quick one. He's still with us. He's in a lot of pain, bless him. They don't seem to be managing his pain as well as they promised him. But there you go. There we are. A great philosopher, says Pingu Concord, once wrote, "Naughty, naughty, very naughty Boaty. Aha, ha, ha, ha." And that rings a bell. Naughty, naughty, very naughty. What was the... Oh, God. It was from a song that I didn't like in the 80s or 90s. Now, if I ever get... Oh, was it that Ebenezer Scrooge? Was it? I'm sure it was something about Ebenezer Scrooge. And that would have been by... No idea. Charles Dickens. Barry is here, that guy from SETI Alpha 5. Good evening, all you lovely people. Neil, a.k.a. the Gibbonatore, the Gibbonator. Neil is here. Evening all. Hope we've all had a good day. Otter MG is right in our midst. He's right in the middle of us. Evening, Boaty, evening, all good evening to you, sir. And then Barry Way straight in and says, has Russell Brand been strung up by his bollocks yet? I don't believe so, Barry, but I want to watch it when he is. That man deserves everything that's coming to him as far as I'm concerned. Dan Peters is joining us again. That's very nice. Hello, sir. Hoping you're well and your day has been filled with many great things. Well, my day was filled with a lion that was absolutely delicious, a lunch that was really splendid, some work, which is, well, I was going to say it's a necessary evil, but for me, work is a pleasure. I get to see my family. I get to go to my lovely restaurant with my lovely, I do think of them as family. For those who don't know, I don't have any family. They are all long gone, but the Nepali guys that I work with, they are my de facto family. Either they adopted me or I adopted them, or it's a mutual adoption. And of course, all of you lovely people, so it's nice to have you with us again, Dan. And thank you very much for the nice comment you left on the video, which I will reply to when I next do my comment replies, which will be at some point tomorrow. I'll try and keep on top of them. I've got this thing that I reply to any comment left, and I intend to keep doing that for as long as I can. Sophie is here, the lovely Sophie. Hi, Boaty. Hi, Sophie. How are you? I'm okay. Hope you're okay. I am. I'm okay. And how has your day been? Good evening, everyone. Black Lines is here, evening Gore. The lovely Joe Cox, Cars with JC, one of our community channels. And if you haven't subscribed to Cars with JC, and that's Cars with a Z, you might want to consider doing so, because Joe is a very nice chap, definitely one of us, a massive mover and shaker in our little community. And he has a rather splendid car that's got a lot of community history, known as Michael Jackson. You might want to consider subscribing to that channel. Just saying. Oh, hello, Cheeseburger's here. Evening all. Stand by your beds. Oh, right. Excellent. We're on to food. Sophie says, I had beef curry and chips. Okay. Homemade or shop bought or pink cuisine or takeaway? Let us know, Sophs. £5 says, skip, gotta be Mackey's. Well, what do you get from McDonald's for a £5? Does a £5 get you a Big Mac and fry? Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in with a £5 note. I mean, just beat this, basically. With a £5 note, you could go into Istanbul on the Milkston Road in Rochdale, and you could get kabida with chips and salad. Beat that for a £5. Barry says, I could get a mini pizza and fries from Pizza Connection in Matlock for that, for a £5. Okay. Well, it'd be kind of a long journey for you. You live in America. So, I mean, let's keep it real. What could you get? I mean, you live in America where everything is cheap. You know, fuel is 20 cents for an American gallon. I've forgotten what an American gallon is. What's £5 worth in dollars now? It's about $5.06, isn't it? What could you get for $5.06 in terms of a takeaway near you, Barry? Dan says, for 5 hard-earned, for my 5 hard-earned King's pounds, I would have to go to McDonald's and get 2 wraps of the day and a Coca-Cola without ice. Can you do that for a £5? That's not bad. Cheeseburger says, best takeaway, sausage and bacon sandwich from Ant's Chuck Wagon at Bromsgrove Golf Club. Right. You know, do you know, Cheeseburger? You've just opened a door with me there. That's something that I haven't had for a long time, the Greasy Spoon van. And God, you see, I'm still craving Ex-Lloyd chips and curry sauce, and now I want this. I want the full roadside van experience. I want the fresh, thickly cut doorstep bread, sausage, bacon, tinned tomato, an artistic drizzle of HP sauce in an artisan fashion, and a light dusting of white pepper. Oh, God. With a paper napkin around it in a brown paper bag that allows it just to marinate in itself, and the bread gets all wonderfully soggy from the tomato. I want that now. God, it is a long time since I've had one of those. I couldn't even tell you how long, but a long time. And that would come well within the £5, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, you'd get well, I don't know, would it? I mean, I assume it would. I mean, the last time I had one of those for a sandwich like that, you would have been talking about, what, £1.50? Something like that. How much would that set you back now? Blackline says the problem with McDonald's is that you're hungry again an hour later. Joe says £5 meal has to be Morrison's Cafe fish and chips. Interesting. Well, strictly speaking, that's not a takeaway, is it, Joe? And would Morrison's Cafe fish and chips come under a £5 for us mere mortals who don't have your staff discount, courtesy of your mother, who I'm sure I remember, and you only told me once, is called the lovely Kaz? I want to say Kaz. And thank you, Kaz, for your staff discount on the half roast chicken with chips, coleslaw, and salad that I had at Morrison's in wherever the hell it was after Joe and I broke down in Mingebag. It was Mingebag, wasn't it? General Cheeseburger says Ebenezer good. Is he? Oh, that's nice. Mark Prasad says £5 beef chow mein with curry sauce. Bloody hell, Mark. Where do you get in beef chow mein and curry sauce from for a £5? Now, Chinese Madam became very friendly with a Chinese takeaway, not far from the second restaurant in Clay Cross. They think they're the first restaurant. I disagree. And they're the loveliest people. And they're like a small Chinese takeaway, tucked away in sort of on the outskirts of Clay Cross. And they're considerably cheaper than any other Chinese takeaway that I know, although they did recently put their prices up. Now, Madam used to get beef chow mein from there. Beef chow mein, now I can tell you, and when Madam was buying it, it was £4.10. Now it's £5.50. So I can tell you there's nowhere around here that you could get beef chow mein and curry sauce for inside a £5. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying that you couldn't here. Oh, the shaman. Oh, there we are. Oh, okay. I'm with it now, Cheeseburger. Thank you. The song was Ebenezer Good, and it was by the shaman. Is that where it came from? The naughty, naughty. But I mean, you say naughty, naughty like that. I'm just going to Frankie Howard and Up Pompeii. Oh, 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 up Pompeii, up Pompeii. I never seem to get it. Oh, 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 up Pompeii, Pompeii, salute, naughty, naughty, up Pompeii. Look at the way it is today, it's getting out of hand. There's no decorum in the forum. Depravity surrounding me, I don't know where to turn, but give me time and I'll soon learn. Oh, Lurkio, etc., etc. I used to love Up Pompeii. Absolutely. I mean, there was that great, I'm going to call it Up Pompeii, for those who don't know, was a television sitcom starring Frankie Howard as Lurkio. but it kind of became a film afterwards when, you know, presumably they were all desperate for money. And there was a great line in the film that they were having an orgy, you know, as the Romans used to do. And, you know, who can fault them? Nothing wrong with a good orgy. And there was a brilliant line in it. I can't remember who it was, either the character or the actor. But one of the Romans said, "Hey there, orgy girl." And I just thought that was such a genius line. Hey there, orgy girl. Oh dear. But there you go. Apparently it was Ebenezer Good and the Shaman. Hello, Mr. Boaty, says RMC Motorsport. And hello to you. You do have family. You have us, Neil. And you're right. And Joe says it as well. We are your family. Yes, of course. And I'm jolly grateful for it. You know, they say you can't choose your family, but I really have. And I think I've chosen rather well. I mean, because you're all such top of the range people. You really are. Oh, you watched the video then, Neil. Apparently, I'm an uncle to your Rover 25. Oh, hang on. You are indeed, Neil. Kind Uncle Neil is going to rescue his nephew, Brian. Right, this sounds disturbingly sexual. Neil is saying to Joe, "I'd be your daddy." I hope that means that you'd beat him in a boxing round. Oh, God. Oh, my mind's running riots with that one. Who's your daddy? Oh, dear. Cheeseburger says, "I woke up to 2 open reach transits blocking my drive as they dig up the pavement. I did try to complain, but they don't let you." Thanks, Jason, says Joe. I appreciate the shout out. You're more than welcome, mate. A question from Skick. What is your view on the police, Boaty? What is my view on the police? I think the British police are the best in the world because, generally speaking, the British police are not armed, whereas many of their contemporaries in other countries are armed. And that makes their job very difficult because when a good, solid British policeman or group of British policemen want to kill a suspect, then they can't just shoot them like they do in America. No. They have to beat them to death with their bare hands or truncheons, and then they have to go through all of the effort of filling out a long and lengthy paper trail to cover up their tracks. Whereas the Americans, they can just shoot them and there we are, that's the job done. So I'm full of admiration for the British police. They have a very tricky job to do. I think it's probably harder for the British police than any other police force in the world to kill people who may or may not have committed a minor traffic offence or who may be guilty of having the wrong colour skin. Joe say, right, jolly good. Dan says it would be lovely if you were to organise an MG and Rover collaboration event. I would definitely attend. Okay. Right. Well, yeah, that's something that we are going to need to think about at some point. I did try before. Maybe I tried a little bit too early. Maybe you need a bit more of a following than I had at the time to organise a successful meetup. But I'm very happy to work towards one. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I say that I've had lots of successful meets in a sense, in that people have come to see me here at Windy Bum and we've had a wonderful time. People have come to see me and Mustard at the yard and we've had a wonderful time. And there have been lunches and there have been all sorts. So that's been incredibly successful. And if anybody's seen any of those and thought, well, I'd like to do that, well, you know, you would be welcome. We would always try and sort something out. People are welcome to, by arrangement, don't just turn up unannounced like Matt did. But yeah, you're very welcome to come and hang out with me here if you fancy doing, and you'd be very welcome to hang out with me and Mustard in the yard for a while. But yeah, we should do it. Or Mustard's talking about a meetup, and I haven't made it to any of his meets this year. So if he does do a last one of the year, I will probably try and make it, and maybe we could make it a joint one. He's talking about, you probably already know, you watch Mustard as much as I do. It's being mooted that there could be a meet in motorway services initially, and then moving on to somewhere else, and that would open it up to the possibility of more attendees than simply being in the yard, which has got limited space. So maybe we could do that as a kind of joint thing, but we can talk about it. I still like the idea of a Sunday lunch meet and drive in the Peak, as I did before, where we rock up on a Sunday at the pub just over there, which is also a hotel, so people could stay overnight, as Joe did, stayed for 2 nights. And as Neil, Sophie and Joe will be doing next Saturday. But yeah, doing that on a Sunday and having a mingle in the old car park and maybe going for a drive, doing a bit of filming, having a drive in each other's cars, all of that. And then buggering off into the pub for a nice Sunday lunch and social get-together. And then more driving and whatnot afterwards. I like that idea. I much prefer that idea to the idea of meeting up in a drafty, bloody field somewhere that, oh no, that doesn't appeal to me at all. Whereas having a nice Sunday lunch at the pub with you guys, I'd love that. Skick, Roxanne was my favourite, says Cheeseburger, and that's in response to Skick was asking my view on the police. Cheeseburger, you're so sharp, you'll cut yourself one of these days. Oh, Sophie, it was a takeaway, and and your nan paid bonus. Who said there's no such thing as a free dinner? And that was Sophie's beef curry and chips. Pingu says, pottering, the joy of movement. Well, what the hell's that in relation to, Pingu? I mean, I agree that pottering is a joy, and I agree that it involves movement, but I'm buggered if I know what that's relating to at this moment. But and then you follow it up by saying Voltarol. I don't know. Are you celebrating something there, Pingu? Is that what you're trying to share with us? Have you administered somebody special in your life a jolly good pottering and you want to share it with your friends? But welcome anyway. Cheeseburger says £5 is $6. Bloody hell. I can remember when it used to be 10. Yes, absolutely. Yes, live stream title. It is your bounden and moral duty to name this live stream, and we've got the first suggestion. HP sauce in an artisan fashion. That would make a good title. I've screenshotted that. Barry says for $5.06 I can get a chicken and veg wrap at BJ's restaurant in Lynn Mo. I forgot what Mo is again. Oh God, Montana. I forgot before. Didn't you have to tell me? And now I've forgotten again. But BJ's restaurant. Well, if you can get a chicken and veg wrap at BJ's for $5, what could you get for 10? Eh? For Cheeseburger says £3.50 for the breakfast sarnie. I want one. I really want one. I might make my own. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that on Saturday. Haven't done it for a while. It's about a year ago since I did that. I could go to a lovely Peak District farm shop, get a loaf a crusty loaf, non-sliced, obviously. Get some farm bred raised made sausages. Get some beautiful bacon, and I can make my own greasy spoon, massive doorstep sandwich. Diddly-do. Oh, right. Neil is worried about how much work he's going to have to do to Joe's car on Saturday. Oh, Joe says, Jason, you are bang on. My mum's name is Kaz. I can't believe you remembered. There you go. And he goes on saying the fish and chips is a takeaway option, and it is indeed £5 on a Friday. There you go. That qualifies. Food for under $6, says Cheeseburger. Taco Bell burrito. Okay. Oh, bugger. Have you really, Joe? A pond in the back passenger side rear, and you bought some fish. Oh, dear. Oh, God, that won't have been good over the last couple of days if you've had rain like we have. Project Nigel. Captain Mustard is in the house. Evening Mustard. And says, hello, duckies. Oh, another new name, Jerry Beland. Hello, all. Hello to you, Jerry. And, oh, okay, right, jolly. Rover Joe. Rover Joe. Come on, you know the rules, darlings. When Rover Joe comes into our midst, we all have to give him a big group hug. Come on, Joe. Feel the community love. Hello, you lot, he says, and hello to you, Joe. Skick says, was Madam a Thai bird boat? Just asking. No, she was Chinese, Skick. Oh, people are saying hello to Mustard. Up Pompeii, says Mark. I loved it, and Frankie Howard was a star. He certainly was. I loved Up Pompeii too. Video title, We Are Family. I've got all my Rovers with me. Oh, I like that. Oh, right, we're talking about tagging people. Right, as far as I know, you can only tag when you're on a browser. I've never been able to tag anybody on the YouTube app, which is what I use. I use the YouTube app and I use the YouTube Studio app. Very seldom do I use a browser. I certainly don't use it to watch videos. But as I understand it, in order to tag people in the comments or to tag channel names, whatnot, you do need to be on a browser. So if you're trying to do it on a phone or well, if you're trying to do it on an app, that's probably why you can't. Maud Eccles is with us and says, hey there, y'all. And hello to you, Maud. That's a fabulous name. I love the name Maud. That's a proper name. Whoa. Oh dear. Sophie's talking about Joe and Neil. Them pair. Oh my God, they're like a married couple. I'm sure I've been taken over. Cheeseburger. I knew you'd go there. I knew you would go here, and that's exactly where my mind went to. Cheeseburger says British police Constable Savage sketch on Not the 9 o'clock news. Yes, yeah, that was brilliant. There were 2 Constable Savage sketches, weren't there? Possession of no, I can't say it. You can't come out with any of the lines from that sketch because they were all horrifically racist now and unacceptable. but yeah. I mean, talking about the police in all seriousness, when I was working for the NHS, I worked with a lot of ex-police who'd taken early retirement, but still wanted something to do, a few bob to roll in, whatever. Now, they were great lads. Without exception, they were great lads. There was a fireman as well, and he was an absolute dick. And I couldn't stand him then, and I can't stand him now. And I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. But the police, they were all great chaps. And I used to love working with them because they told me all the stories from back in the day. And Jesus Christ. I mean, I feel for the modern police now, because of course they're wearing body cams, they're wearing body cameras, and the world and his wife are videoing everything on a mobile portable electric telephone. And that's got to make their job so incredibly difficult. And what makes it even worse is you've got, what do they call themselves? Auditors? These fucking twats with massive YouTube channels, which is annoying, who go around auditing the police. In other words, just being complete fucking assholing wankers. And every time I catch sight of one of those videos, I just want them to come across an old school copper who thinks, fuck it, I've done my time, I don't care if I get sacked, and just gives them a fucking clip round the ear. Because that's what they all deserve, the bloody antagonizing, wind-up, arseholing Burks. So, yeah, it must be very difficult being a policeman or a policeman woman now in this current day and age. You know, can't shoot people, and you can't even give them a clip round the ear because you get filmed doing it. Yeah, the guys that I worked with, they used to tell me all the stories back in the day. Justice was usually imparted long before the miscreant got anywhere near a court of law. You know, they'd trip over themselves in the back of the van on the way to the cop shop. A lot of them would fall down the stairs before they even got into the back of the van. My mate Dave was a rapid response pursuit driver. He told me some great stories. And whenever they were in a pursuit and they caught the guy, the first, he said, well, the first thing we always did was give him some fist for putting us to that trouble. And it was he who taught me about the Derbyshire dog. There was a thing called the Derbyshire dog. And quite often, when they were doing a pursuit, then sometimes the member of Her Majesty's, as they were then, constabulary, would fall off the black stuff in the middle of a corner, somewhat embarrassingly, if the person that they were pursuing were more skilled or better vehicularly equipped than they were. And they had a code. They would all just say that they were in pursuit when a dog ran out onto the road in front of them, and when taking avoiding action, unfortunately they fell off the road, and that was it. That was a Derbyshire dog. So every time the Derbyshire dog was deployed, it meant that they just ran out of talent and piled up the police car. And he also told me about the training he went through to become a hot pursuit driver. And it was they had this instructor. You'll have to pardon the language. But they had this instructor, and his instruction technique was to tell them what they needed to do. And then if they did it wrong, he would just look at them with a withering glance and say, cunt. Oh dear. The police say so. I've had them outside mine tonight. I'm just fed up with my street. Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Maud says, no one is skipping a bail bond here, are they? Not to the best of my knowledge, but it wouldn't surprise me. Joe says, Sophie, don't worry, I'll invite you to the wedding. Dan says, it would be amazing to see some proper British classics and indeed meet yourself at the event. Yeah, well, there we are. Oh, Cheeseburger, you are oh God, what are you like? Dan, most of the motors are knockoff Hondas. I'm not having this. I'm not having this yeah, okay. Rover had a collaboration with Honda, and I think that is a genius idea. People knock it. Why would you knock it? It is a genius idea. Right, let's go back to the time. British cars, and pretty much all of British cars at that period were shit. They were built really, really badly. You've got all of the British Leyland lot, and we know what they're like. Who else did you have? Morgan. Well, Morgan were all right, weren't they? Well, no, Morgan were flawed. Have you ever driven a bloody Morgan +4 thing? You can't drive it. The steering wheel is so close to the dashboard, you can't get your hand right round it. Ridiculous. You've got TVR. Even Rolls-Royce, handmade, bespoke, just means that so you've got British cars that at that point in time are being really badly made, but they've got the prestige, they've got the mark, they've got the history, and they've got the British opulence, the wood and leather. What could possibly be better than combining Japanese build quality with British tradition? Why would you knock that? Surely it makes the perfect car. And the proof is in the pudding. Just go and have a go in the 623 GSI that is currently in the yard. Utterly, utterly fantastic car. Much better car than any British car of the period because it's built with Japanese attention to detail and build quality, but also much better than any Japanese car of the period because it's built with British style and opulence. So what the hell's wrong with that? Hands across the ocean, that's what I say. I'm brilliant. I wish we were still doing it. If we'd have carried on with that, then maybe we'd still have a bloody car industry. It's the ideal, it's the perfect marriage. It's as good a marriage as a man who can make the best sausages in the world marrying the woman who can make the best mashed potato and gravy in the world. Put them together, they could open a restaurant that only sold sausage and mash and gravy. But it's the best sausage, mash and gravy in the world. That would be a successful restaurant. I'd go there. Try it this weekend, dude. We're coming up in 2 days. Yeah. Hang on, Wednesday. 2 days? What? Friday? Eh? Oh, 3 nights if you count tonight. Okay, thanks for... There we are. Sophie says, Bab, can we do that with Boaty, please? Hang on. Do what? Do what with Boaty? Steady on, Soph. What are you suggesting there, my lovely? Just chat amongst yourself for a second. Oh, Christ, I didn't... oh, that's stupid of me, isn't it? Ah, that's better. Where did I get to? Mark says, Boaty, what's your favourite dish that the restaurant serves? This is an interesting question because the majority of the food, the vast majority of the food that we eat, we don't serve in the restaurant because the restaurant menu is tailored towards a UK or European palate. The food that we eat is tailored towards an Asian palate, and the two things are very different. But there are maybe 2 or 3 dishes on the restaurant menu that are things that we would and do eat. So I'll give you those. My favorite. Okay, the obvious one is Momo. Momo are fantastic. If you've never tried them, then my God, you need to. They need to be served with momo chutney, a really good Nepalese momo chutney. And they're just one of the best things in the world. As some of you know, because I've cooked momo for you. And others of you will find out in due course. But momo are stunning. Now, again, that's a little bit of a cheat because I'll let you into a secret. The momo that we serve in the restaurant are not the same as the momo that we make for ourselves. But they're not a million miles away. And the restaurant momo, I would eat, you know. Very often, if we're feeling peckish and a customer orders momo, then we'll slip a few extra in there and we'll have one or two each as what my mother used to call a bit of a go along, you know, a little something to keep you going until you have your actual meal. Other things on the menu, sekwa. Sekwa's great, and it's the sekwa that we make for ourselves is very, very similar to the restaurant sekwa. We just make it more spicy for us. And finally, choila. Choila. I'm quite fond of choila. I like clucking bell, y'all, says Maud. TJ Hooker was my favourite, please, says Barry. TJ Hooker was from Vice City, apparently. Mustard shouts out like. And yeah, you know, if you'd care to tickle the like button, then I wouldn't be at all offended, my lovelies. In fact, I'd be quite grateful. Joe says, Jason, I'm vlogging the whole trip, so let's do it. It'll make great content. So I've forgotten what I suggested. Let's do what? I've completely forgotten what I said we should do. Is that what Sophie was talking about as well? Let me think. What did I suggest? I can't bloody remember. Dear God. MO equals Missouri. PS, what's your post box? Oh, okay, I shall. Right. I'm having you for this, Neil. Neil says, who's head of warranty claims for the mustard and boat? Oh, yeah. I'd love that, Neil. Sorry, Neil has just pinged me to clarify. And yeah, I would be totally 100% massively up for that. Let's do exactly that. Yeah, let's go out in a pair of classic British open-top sports cars and go out for a jolly good old Sunday pub lunch. Who's head of warranty claims for Mustard and Boaty Do cars? Joe needs to make a claim. No, he doesn't. Not from us. Right. Michael Jackson was not a Mustard and Boaty Do cars car. It wasn't even really a Mustard Does car. Certainly nothing to do with me. That Michael Jackson was a senior mustard car. So your claim would be, well, strictly legally speaking, your initial claim would be with Mustard himself, with possibly a secondary claim on senior Mustard. But it's nothing to do with me. So leave me out of it. There's no Boaty in there. It's that is your claim would be with the head of warranty for Mustard and Sons quality classic vehicle sales. Boaty's not even in the Venn diagram of that one. Stephen S. Paul is with us from across the Heading Pond. Hello, you flatulence, and hello to you. Now then, this is quite sweet from Skick. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but Mustard seems a lot happier recently, and I'm glad because he is a decent guy. Well, there's a topic for discussion. Has Mustard seemed happier recently? Feature 1. And feature 2, Is he a decent guy? Cheeseburger says, Neil, mustard and Boaty cars come with a Chops Garage warranty. You can't claim on it. Oh, hello, John Marutzi's here. Hello, John. Cheeseburger's come out with one of the lines from the Constable Savage sketch that you can say. Is this your Hedgehog, sir? I love the Constable Savage sketch. For those who don't know, I can't do the lines because they're so incredibly racist. I know them all by heart, as does Cheeseburger, I guarantee it. General Cheeseburger and I, we've never met, by the way, although, you know, we do have geographical, historical similarities. Cheeseburger and I, we are kindred spirits because anything that Cheeseburger references, I know by heart, and vice versa. And the Constable Savage sketches, God, but you can't read them out. You wouldn't get away with it. Fiesta Man 1990, good evening, he says, and I say, jolly good evening to you, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here in our midst. Skick says, Chops Garage goes on and on before he gets to the point. Bit of a bore to me. Oh, dear. There you go, James. You heard it here first. Mustard says, absolutely spot on, mate. Rozzers deserve better than those opportunists. Oh, God almighty. I want to beat them to death with my own hands. Never mind the poor police. I mean, do you want to talk seriously about the police? What is my opinion on the police? My opinion on the police is that they are a group of people doing a job. People will be doing the job for different reasons, but I believe that the majority go into the job for the right reasons, and you will always get good and slightly less good people. And that applies to the police as well. Are the police as an organization in this day and age corrupt? No, I don't believe that they are. Historically, yeah. These days, no. And even historically, in the good, straight, bad old days of the police, and even when they were corrupt and bent and so on, then and again, that's a generalization, isn't it? I believe that throughout the world, people on the whole are good. And that applies to the police as well, in terms of them as people, in terms of them doing their job, etc., etc., etc. There will always be the old cliche, there will always be the odd bad apple. On the whole, people are generally good. I mean, would you agree with me on that? I've been on this earth a long time, 52 years. I've done a lot of different things. I've lived all around the world. And I think that people, whatever job they're doing, whatever color they are, whatever race they are, whatever ethnicity they are, I think people are generally good. Would you agree with that? Or would you not? I'd be interested. Joe says, I've got so many videos to catch up on. Still not got Wi-Fi on our street, and my 4G has been really slow. Stephen S. Paul says, you can't even shoot the bastards these days, Boaty, or run them over with your car, or throw them out of a moving vehicle anymore. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I wish. God. Oh dear. So I'm not reading those out, but they are quite funny. The hook. Oh God. Cheeseburger says the hookup with Honda was a great idea. Then they put a K series in it. Well, they didn't. They didn't put a K series in all of them, did they? And again, the K series is a fantastic engine. I love a K series. It's got so much going for it. And the biggest problem with a K series engine is the owner. Oh, that's not probably fair. Okay, the K series was an engine at a time where vehicle owners didn't expect to have to be emotionally involved with their vehicles. A K series is a great engine when it's owned and looked after by an enthusiast. It's not like a Japanese engine that you can just forget about. So, okay, kind of a fair point, but they didn't all have K series in them. Diddly-do. Skik says any Japanese car is better than any Rover over the past 20 years. And sorry, but that's a fact. I don't think it is. And again, I will hold up the Rover 623 GSI, which is a better car than Honda made at the time, because it's a Honda with all of the good bits of Rover added to it. So, oh yeah, go to the pub and have a Sunday meal. Yeah, I'm all in favour of that. Right, I'm looking forward to that now. That's Sunday sorted. Me and Joe and Sophie, we're going to jump in some convertible cars and we're going to go off and have Sunday lunch. We might need to book it though, because they tend to get a bit busy around here. Oh dear. Oh, getting chilly out there, isn't it? Diddly-doo. Oh, good evening, says Simone. Hooked on Classics is with us. Good evening to you, Simone. The modern Mini might be the exception. God, I can't really pass an opinion on a Mini. I know I've driven them when they were current, but I haven't driven one for a long time. Joe says, Jason, don't forget some Momo for me and Kaz, please. I'll bring the freezer bag. All on order, Joe. All on order. And I've got emergency stock down there. And the chutney. Did you want chutney? I know Neil wants chutney with his. Did you want chutney as well, Joe? That is going to be made fresh tomorrow night. So, yeah, you are sorted on the Momo front. Don't you worry about that. I didn't leave. I just nipped outside the back door for a half a puff. I can't get through. Be fair, I can't get through an hour without half a puff. And in fact, now that you're all commenting on it, I'm going for another half a puff because I only had a quarter of a puff and I want the other quarter. Don't worry. I'll go on for 30 seconds longer to make up for it. I mean, it's not like I'm asking for an unpaid break or anything, is it? Ah, that's much better. It's very good news on the cigarette front, by the way. I have found a new supplier and they're nicer and cheaper. So win-win. I'm jolly glad about that. Oh, Dan Peters asks, What would be your Indian curry of choice? Dan, gosh, my Indian curry of choice. All right, I'll answer that honestly. I mean, an Indian curry wouldn't be my choice, but if it was limited to an Indian curry, then anything. I mean, if you're asking me what would I eat from an Indian restaurant, I assume that's what you're asking me. So if we went to an Indian restaurant in the UK, then you're asking me, would I have a Boaty or a jalfrezi or a madras or whatever? And I have been in this situation. And so I'll tell you the honest answer. If I go to an Indian restaurant, then I ask, have you made staff curry? And if you have, can I have that? I would rather not have anything on the menu. So yeah, that would be the answer to that. But you know, my ideal Indian curry would be a lovely curry made by an Indian mother in her own home for her own family, because that will be basically, how can I put this delicately? Anything that you eat from an Indian, which 99% of the time means Bangladeshi, from an Indian restaurant or takeaway is going to be crap, and I wouldn't want to eat it. Sorry, but that's the truth of it. Things are changing, but most of the food that is offered by other cuisines within the UK, it's not authentic food. They wouldn't dream of eating it themselves. It's food that they make for the UK palate, and that means that it's unhealthy, it's sweet, and it's just generally bloody awful. I mean, you look at an Indian restaurant menu, chicken tikka masala. Do you really think that any Indian has ever eaten a chicken tikka masala or a chicken korma or a chicken balti? Of course they haven't. They wouldn't dream of eating it. They wouldn't feed it to their animals. They just feed it to the British customers and other Europeans, of course. It's but there we are. That's what I'll be having when I come up, says Neil. I can't wait to try them. You will love them. Joe says, Joe's asking when they've booked the restaurant. Saturday at 7. Oh, yeah, when you're coming. Oh, yeah, of course, you're coming to us, aren't you? I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Joe, Sophie, and Neil will be coming to my restaurant on Saturday night, and apparently they're having the momo. So you won't regret it. Tell you that. Got the address, says Neil. It's about a 15-minute drive, or 10 now. I fixed the ZTT. Bollocks, is it, Neil? From the hotel. From the hotel that's like 30 seconds from this cottage. If you can do that in 10 minutes, if you can do it in 15 minutes, you're having a laugh. 15 minutes, my ass. Right. I do the driving home from work challenge, right? There's a leaderboard. The fastest I've ever done it is 24 minutes. Or was it 26 minutes? Can't remember which, but it's certainly not 15. And that's at night, in the dead of night, when the roads are empty. You think on a Saturday night, just at 6:30, you're going to get from that hotel to the restaurant in 15 minutes. Are you balls? In fact, right. Challenge. Hold on. Sorry, I've been pinged. Okay, I see what's happened there. Wrong hotel, Neil. Wrong hotel. Wrong restaurant, not hotel. Right hotel, wrong restaurant. Hang on, let's just wait for that to catch up with yourself. Yeah, there are two Kathmandu Gurkhas. We've got two. There's Kathmandu Gurkha, Clay Cross, and Kathmandu Gurkha 2, Ripley. And you have got the directions to Clay Cross, which is indeed about 15 minutes. And you need to get directions to Kathmandu Gurkha 2, Ripley, which you will find it's a bloody good job you pinged me. Otherwise, you'd be going to the wrong sodding restaurant and wondering why on earth you're not booked in there. Greasy nipples, says Mustard, and that's by private message. And I'm not sure if he's telling me that he's got greasy nipples or indeed if he's suggesting that I will check my nipples for you. Hold on, Mustard. Now, I had not just a shower before I went to work. I had a jolly nice long bath and then a shower before I went to work. So those nipples are completely tasty. Those are definitely non-greasy nipples, and that is confirmed. Mustard. Sorry, I'm just laughing. Mustard's just sent me a picture of his penis. Oh dear. God almighty. You'll get kicked off Messenger, Mustard, doing things like that. Where did I get to? And Mustard has said the magic words. Dan's Bangers. What can we say about Dan's Bangers? Dan of Dan's Bangers is like a god to us YouTubers. He is what we all dream and aspire to be. And yes, we can only pray. Before I forget, say Simone, everyone go and watch a new film by Tom Dries regarding the Rover prototypes being left out in the rain to rot. The cars need to be in a museum. Cheeseburger says, Joe, is Boaty waiting your table? It would be like Basil Fawlty with the Germans. Cheeseburger says, Simone, we discussed Tom's video last night. It's a crying shame. We did indeed. Simone says, Cheeseburger, I've been feeling like crap, hence why I was not here last night. Hope you feel better soon. Joe, bless you. You're over the moon with MJ. That's excellent. The ring road warranty applies, says Neil. If it makes it to the ring road, it's out of warranty. Yeah, that's about right. Skick says, some people put a uniform on and given a bit of power can change into a twerp. And Mustard agrees with that. Video title, Hedgehog Sandwich. Yes. Yeah, Hedgehog Sandwich, for those who don't know. And again, I'm so sorry. This is me and Cheeseburger, kindred spirits, totally on the same wavelength. Hedgehog Sandwich was the name of the LP. That's a long-playing record, an album, if you like, which contained the Constable Savage sketches. And Hedgehog Sandwich was one of the best. Oh, it's too late. We need to be talking about this tomorrow. Hedgehog Sandwich was one of the best albums, along with, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Subject for tomorrow, Derek and Clive. Who of you out there are Derek and Clive fans, ad nauseam, etc.? And what are your favourite Derek and Clive sketches? Don't do it tonight. I'm about to go. It's gone midnight. But tomorrow, we will do Derek and Clive. I'll get demonetized. I don't care. We should have, it's Thursday night tomorrow. It's mad night. Thursday night, bit of fun. Normal rules don't apply. Tomorrow night, we will do a Derek and Clive night. And as I'll get demonetized anyway, I might even play some bits for those of you who've never heard it. But get yourself ready. If you've never heard of Derek and Clive, or if you've not listened to them for a long time, get yourself onto the internet, onto YouTube, onto whatever. Listen to Derek and Clive before tomorrow night. And tomorrow night's live stream, 11 o'clock, same time, same place. Tomorrow's live stream will be the Derek and Clive live. There, now then. Hedgehog sandwich. Diddly do. The Rovers were certainly better looking inside and outside than the Honda. Rover were always very good at making cars look stylish, right up to the end. I agree. Joe, you want chutney? Not a problem. We'll be doing that tomorrow night for you. Where do you recommend for a pub, Boaty, says Neil? To be honest, you could do a lot worse than where you're staying. It's convenient, it's local, and it's perfectly good. You could do a lot worse than there. Anywhere else, I'd say there. I'd say go with the Highwayman. They do a Sunday lunch, or the whole rest of the menu is available. It gets really busy on a Sunday. They're jam-packed. But logistically, that would make it a lot easier because it's only a short distance from me to whiz back to here if it runs there. So yeah, I'd say the Highwayman. It's, food is fine. I would go with that. I mean, there are other places, but that would mean that we can have a drive round, just come back to here, do our filming, whatnot, and then have lunch, and then I can just jink back to here, get changed, go to work, and you guys can sod off up to Rochdale. Other than that, no, go with the Highwayman. Diddly-do. Smoking is bad for you. It certainly is. But you've got to die something, Steve Nespol. Teetotal when I drive, says Neil. Had a bad drive back from the pub once. Some bloke with flashing lights kept following me. I always have a Joe Frazier when I go to an Indian, says Skick. I assume that's Joe Frazier. They need to avoid the dog in the road. I swear to God, it's true. The Derbyshire dog. That is a true story. Bangla Lounge in Hell's Owen, says Cheeseburger, have staff credit on the menu. Not sure if it's authentic, though. It probably is, Cheeseburger. They're certainly in cities now, and since we've become more multicultural, more things are becoming authentic. Certainly on the Rochdale Road, you can get you can get an authentic curry. So, and the staff curry, it probably is authentic. Or the only thing that would likely not be authentic about staff curry is that when we or anybody else makes staff curry, we use a fresh chicken. We skin and butcher it ourselves, and everything is on the bone. If we ever served staff curry to a customer, we would use boneless chicken. That would be the only thing that wasn't authentic. Do Indian restaurants serve actual Indians? Asked Steve Nespor. Well, they serve the staff. Funnily enough, we have quite a strong Indian clientele in our restaurants, but when they come, they know us and they don't order from their menu. They just tell us what they would like, and 99 times out of 100, what they would like is what we made for them before, and they don't know what it is. And they will just call it their special or whatever. And we know what it is. And that's what we do for them. We do that for quite a few customers. We have a very loyal clientele, a very loyal customer base. And for many of our customers, not just Indians or all sorts, we will serve them things that aren't on the menu, like Dino and his good lady came in tonight, as they do every week, and he will text us in advance and to let us know what particular dish he fancies that's not on the menu, and we will make it for him. We'll source the ingredients, we'll make it for him. Tonight they had sizzling salmon. We don't have salmon on the menu, but we make fantastic salmon dishes for ourselves and whatnot. And so, yeah, we made Dino salmon. That's 24-hour marinated salmon, cooked on a sheik and served as a sizzling dish, and it's amazing. Neil says, okay. Shame we're not staying Monday night, says Joe. I'd have loved to have done another live stream. Oh, and Neil stands corrected. 32 minutes. That's much more like it. Sorry, I'm just reading ahead. And say your good night. Oh, God, we're well past closing time. Say your good night now, darlings. I am about to bugger off, and we all need to. Yeah, it would have been fun to do a live stream on the Monday, Joe. So what's happening on Monday? I meant to ask you that. Surely you're not driving back to... Are you driving straight back to home after the yard on Monday? Or are you doing a Monday night stopover down with Neil and Soph? Cheeseburger says, Boaty challenges Neil to a Pratt and a reasonably priced car challenge. My money is on the skick. Fiesta Man 1990 says, Boaty, when will you be acquiring a City Rover? Well, despite the fact that the lovely Mr. Joseph Lloyd spent about half an hour, as many of you who watched the video will know, spent about half an hour telling me that I do not want a City Rover and explaining exactly why, I will own a City Rover when one comes up in silver with an MOT and in a condition that means that it's likely to get another MOT afterwards. And ideally, not the Solo, not the base model. Ideally, I would like the style. Live title, says Joe. Greasy nipples and a lick of the finger. Tasty. Right. Oh, okay. We just saw it in Monday. Yeah, the Beefeater restaurant, it's as good as anywhere, and we're more likely to get booked in at this relatively late stage, and it's just really convenient. Good night, Boaty, says Sophie. See you Saturday and Sunday. You will. Good night, says Simon. Oh, yeah, and the roof bars. Oh, yeah, that's going to be exciting. Might be a night in MJ, says Jay. Oh, you haven't got a clue. Okay. Keep in my garage if you want, says Neil. There's a very comfy Dolomite in there. Well, you know you can make it home in one piece, having been to the yard, Joe. You did it last time. And and probably by Monday night, you'll be wanting to get back home to your family and your dog and your safe, comfortable bed, I imagine. Good night, all. Take care, says Cheeseburger. Fun live. I've really enjoyed it. Good night, Boaty, says Fiesta Man 1990. It's been a really enjoyable one. Thank you, everybody. We have so. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now he can keep in the ZTT on the way back. He'll be fine with some Red Bull in him. That's the ticket. Mustard is saying good night to everybody, and I echo that. I had a mega lion this morning. I just slept. Thank God for it. I didn't get up until 11 o'clock. And I wasn't just lazing about. I properly slept. And I needed it. And I felt great for it. But you'll see on the Daily Diary again, the weather's been pants again today. It's been a day of being stuck inside and not doing much. And after the lying, I've just felt so chilled and restful. I've kind of just not wanted to do anything at all. And that's how I'm feeling now. So that's great, actually. We'll say goodnight. I'll get my supper on. And then I won't be in bed late. And tomorrow, normal service will be resumed. Brilliant. All right, darlings. Right, time to go. Thank you so much for your company tonight. It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. Take great care of yourselves. Please have a safe and peaceful night. Have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place, 11 o'clock. Don't miss it. Be there or be somewhere else. Sleep tight. Much love. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.